Welcome to Capital TV. I'm Kasim Hassan Ali. The High Court Judge Mumbi Ngugi has suspended the closure of private schools in the country. Officials of the Kenya Private Schools Association moved to court on Monday morning to challenge the government's decision to close all schools, including private schools. Meanwhile, the Kenya National Parents Association Secretary General Musau Ndunda wants the Ministry of Education to authorize all schools that have closed to refund parents third-term fees. He says most schools are unlikely to carry the fee paid for third term to next year as ordered by President Uhuru Kenyatta. He says parents will move to court to sue the government if a directive for a refund is not issued within the next 7 days.
Millions of money are lying in school accounts in form of school fees. This money, according to the statement of the president, he said that money will be carried forward to next year. And they will be factored their fees or whatever. But the way we know our schools in this country, that money will go down to the drains. And since schools are not on, what is that money doing in the school accounts? That is why, as an organization, we are saying that money must be refunded immediately if no action is taken after the expiry of 7 days, ladies and gentlemen. Then we shall be moving to court.
Deputy President William Ruto says 15.5 billion shillings is required to deal with the expected El Nino rains. He says the 5 billion shillings set aside for emergency requires an additional 10.5 billion shillings to handle the aftermath of the El Nino. Ruto says the money will be sourced from within ministries to raise the 10.5 billion shillings. The El Nino Contingency Strategic Plan for 2014 to 2018 has indicated that about 1.5 million people will require assistance due to the expected floods. Budalangi Member of Parliament Ababu Namwamba has filed a motion seeking to reduce the public wage bill. He wants the three arms of government, the cabinet, the county governments, constitutional commissions, CEOs and directors of parastatals to take a 50% pay cut of their basic salaries so as to raise funds for the poorer paid civil servants. He also proposed that all sitting allowances paid to the public officers be abolished and the mileage claims and traveling allowances be reviewed downwards.
There is no logic of whatever shed for only 1.5% of the population who constitute the public workforce to consume 52% of revenue generated by all the 40 million Kenyans collectively. This lopsided economic scenario seriously constrains the resources available for development financing and delivery of essential public services to all Kenyans.
The motion also seeks to push the two houses to initiate a bipartisan process of reducing the number of legislators at two levels of government while also reducing the number of commissioners within the constitutional commissions. It also proposes the formation of a public wage review committee comprising 3 members of the National Assembly, 2 members of the Senate, 1 Treasury official and a representative from the Salaries and Remuneration Commission to restructure, harmonize and balance the public wage structure.
If indeed you are a leader worth the name leader and you identify with the plight of teachers, you identified with the plight of Kenyan police officers, you identify with the plight of nurses and other public officers whose earning is really a pittance, then you have no choice but to come out and support this motion. Half the package that leaders are offered even in this National Assembly should be sufficient to sustain your life comfortably, really.
The court has declined to revoke Gatudu South MP's Moses Kuria's bond in a hate speech case. Trial Magistrate Teresia Nyangena has found that the Director of Public Prosecutions relied on hearsay in seeking its cancellation and therefore declined to cancel the 2 million shillings bond awarded to Kuria. The DPP wanted the bond cancelled in the case for which Kuria The DPP wanted the bond cancelled in the case for which Kuria is facing charges for allegedly posting hateful messages on Facebook on the grounds that he revoked the terms of his release when he allegedly later called for the assault of those opposed to the National Youth Service projects. In business, Dr. Chris Kirubi has called out to Kenyans to come and support the national carrier Kenya Airways, which made a loss of 25 billion shillings. Upon purchasing shares worth 2 million shillings, the magnate said that it is our responsibility to awaken the carrier and save it from further losses. He urged the government to conduct a study onto the Kenya Airways to determine what brought it down, as speculating alone will not sort out its problems. He concluded by saying that Kenya is an important country in the region and that Kenya Airways plays a big part in making Kenya a good business destination.
You know, when the house is burning, you have the firefighters going the opposite direction, going in the house to put off the fire. And you can think of me like a firefighter. I will go in, I'll encourage others to come along so that we do not abandon the airline.
And finally, in sports, AFC Leopards head coach is worried about the fitness of his boys. This is after they labored in progressing to the third round of the GoTV Shield Knockout tournament after the weekend. Logarusik says only one of his 7 substitutes was fit, forcing him to take risks in their 2-1 win over Wazito FC. Go-slows have been the order of the day in the den, with the players boycotting training on several occasions after going up to 3 months without pay. And that has been your Capital FM Online TV News. For more on this and other stories, don't forget to log on to our YouTube channel, Capital FM Kenya. I've been your host, Kasim Hassan Ali. Good evening.